Thank you for the company. Great rise in Facebook. Great rise in YouTube. Ooh, let me get my glasses. Ooh, we're a couple of seconds late. Thank you for the company. I'm coming, y'all. Get ready. Get your chairs. Get your mat. Get your weights. Get your water. Ooh. All right. Y'all know what happens when I'm all right. Okay. YouTube and Facebook is going to be crooked because the camera's just kind of crooked kind of day. And I tell you, okay. So happy to be walking. Okay, oh, I think I'm messing with stuff I really shouldn't be messing with right now. Because I don't know. It is what it am. YouTube. I done messed up the thing. And I gotta fix it. Okay, y'all start walking without me. Because I gotta work on my YouTube camera a minute to keep it still. Wow! Hey! Let's start. Great rising! Great rising! Great rising! My Jones, Diane, Mary, Sarah, Cassandra, and everybody! Ha ha! Monday, Monday, Monday. I don't know, I always like Mondays. I always like Mondays. It was like a fresh start for me. Especially when I was out there in corporate America. It was a fresh start for me. These cameras are so wacky this morning. I can't wait till I look back at this walk. They are mad wacky. YouTube has mostly ceiling. I'll try to take care of that on the break. And my light, which I don't like to see when I look back at the video. Yes, I watch myself. It gives me encouragement. Great rising, great rising. Get your weights, get your everything, y'all. Let's do this. And love, and love, and love. And all the hundreds of things I was going to talk to y'all about. All the hundreds of thousands of things I was going to talk to you about. That I can't remember now. Well, I do have a meeting with my therapist. I guess she'd like a good Judy. Oh, I lost YouTube, so that's okay. She's like a good Judy, you know? And, so it'll be good to have. Like, comment, share. Like, comment, share. Hit the subscribe button, YouTube. So I have a meeting with her today. I'm into my book, but I've read a few more books of people escaping from the FDLS. But I don't remember reading this book, so I feel that I may have. But I've read several like that, of women, and just that whole religious culture of the Midwest. But I don't know, they said the Koch brothers and the independent stuff, that they have been out there throwing their money, and I still believe that they're the ones that did that crisis shortage of toilet paper, that y'all just went out in a matter of days. They went from millionaires to gazillionaires because y'all started buying all this toilet paper that was not. Anywho, that's those Midwest people. And that's their value system in relation to women. And women are okay with that. Midwest women, they're okay with that. You know? A few are getting in politics, but not enough. Because they do believe that their purpose in life here is to be hunched on by men. And to be subservient to them. And that's what I was thinking about. I was like, when I think back on my grandmother, because I was with her in my adolescence to teen years, and then I left. And I just remember her always saying that anything we do is so we can get a husband. Oh, look how you wash clothes. You don't wash clothes clean. How you going to keep a husband? And I'm saying to myself, that's not what they want. That's not what they want. Oh, and if you can't cook, how you going to... And if you can't keep... I have seen women don't cook, don't keep house, but know how to throw on them knee pads, and that's all that man wants, and he is happy as a clam, living in all the shit. But she was a starch Baptist. And as a Baptist, that's what she was taught. Oof. And I know my cousins and stuff would probably get mad, but I'm going to tell you something. I could not understand. To me, and my mother had gone through the cancer process when she was dying. So when my grandfather Days was dying, my grandmother, his second wife, she could have been kinder. I was so glad Aunt Minnie was there and Aunt Anna Mae was there. Because she could have been kinder. And, okay, this is what it makes me think of. And it's because she had always serviced him. She had been a service to him, always, always. And somehow, good morning, somehow he was dying. And I guess she felt herself off the hook. So it became all about her. And according to religion, the only time a woman is free of a man is if he dies. I mean, according to religion. And I'm telling you, after he died, she ain't pleased. If I ever seen her look at a man, it was with disgust. So that's what makes me think while I'm reading this book, The Witness Wore Red. These women, I don't understand it. I used to sit in church. And even as an adult, I would sit in church. And I would hear how fornicating and, fornication was the devil's work. That as a woman, you have one man, you know. They spoke on Abraham a little bit, but they didn't do too much because and I don't understand this. I didn't. I understand it now. But I didn't understand it that when reading about the FDLS and all that Mormon stuff and the Mormon panties and the Mormon this and all that stuff, I didn't think that it would affect me or have anything to do with my life. But as I'm learning now, the people with the money and the people who are controlling these big political machines are those Midwest people. And them Midwest people mindset is women is good for one thing. Please the man. So you can sit in a meeting with them as a woman and think that they're looking at you saying, oh yeah, she's very smart. He's looking at you saying, how would you look with no clothes on? Now I remember when we were going to the Greenwich Yearbook incident, and I was with Joyce. She was the president of Coalition for Justice, I think that's the name. And she was very sexual, slim, well-built, very pretty. And when she would get up to speak, they were all amazed. And she would laugh, and we would laugh because we knew they were they had her naked. She was naked. They didn't hear anything she said, especially as a black woman. They didn't hear anything she said. Now me, Plain Jane, when I got up to speak, okay, let me tell you, Joyce had a thick Jamaican accent. And they understood, you know, we're in the basement, so we got little boogies. And she had a Jamaican accent. And every time she spoke, we would go places, the men would look at her and they would not, they understood everything she said. And then afterwards, quite a few tried to take out on the date. And when I got up to speak, no one understood what I was saying. I didn't have skirts with a split in it, or I didn't wear anything low with my breasts out. I didn't exude sexuality. I wanted to get this problem taken care of. And every time I spoke, they didn't understand what I was saying. And I had no accent. But every time Joyce got up and spoke, they nodded their head. They could not take their eyes off her. And I knew it was sexual. She was already naked, laid on the bed. So when I would go to meetings, I've always been like that. Even when I went, okay, let me tell you real fast. Even in reverse, when I was doing my play for AIDS, to promote AIDS, HIV education. And I would go to try to get funding. So I worked with the Mount Vernon something on AIDS before, and they had given me a few dollars to, you know, for one of my actresses. She was what do you call that? She was part of the actors union, so I had to pay her. And they gave me the money. So maybe like 2 years go by. I want to bring the play back, so I'm back at the meeting. And literally, I just sold my gold chain to get money so I can get to Mount Vernon and back to Greenwich. And I was dressed decently, and I had my document because they had helped me before. And when I go to the meeting, we're all asking for money, and we're sitting there, and there's this guy, these two guys come in. I've never seen them before. They had, I guess you call Armani suits. They had those watches like Rolex. They had diamond rings, and they smelled good, y'all. One was light-skinned, short crop hair. They were hefty folks. And the other one's a little dark-skinned, beautiful smile. They had their gold earrings. And as soon they walked in, I knew I was not going to get no money from them, mostly women, for the Mount Vernon AIDS Council thing. And they walked in and sat down, and those women locked eyes on them. And I don't think they heard anything that they said, because they didn't hear that we want to do an AIDS concert, though we've never done a concert before. I'm sure they would have heard that, but they didn't hear that. They was looking too good, smelling too good, and everything was shiny. Them nice cut suits. And so they didn't hear them say, yeah, that they never did the concert before, that this would be, the money that they give would be the majority of the money for the project, and getting the council to support them doing this concert at Memorial Field would be what they need to get the other groups to give money to them to do this project they've never done before. So I jumped right on it. I was like, well, you don't know if this man could make this happen or not, but I've been doing AIDS awareness my second time here. We had success. I had my paper how, since the last time I was here, how we've grown, how our audience has grown. And so they barely looked at me. Barely looked at me. If they could have jumped over that table and we halfway there, y'all. I gotta tell you all the story afterwards. It's not so hot outside, but it's hot and dry in this basement. And as people say, I should say, thank goodness. Hey, look at old Elliot. Ooh, Elliot, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the walk. Thanks for coming on. Like, comment, share. I don't like this like red lipstick too much. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey, Elliot, thanks for coming through. Oh, so let me finish this up. It's not so bad outside. It's just hot down here. Not humid hot. Dry hot. So, sitting at this table, and I mean, each one of them women have, in their minds, have had the men on top of that conference table, naked and everything. So, finally it came down to decision making. Now these guys bought nothing. They didn't bring documents saying we've done this concert before. They haven't said, brought anything saying we put out feelers for musicians and we think they can come. They didn't put. They just said they know they can do it at Memorial Field. And they looked at me and they said, well, 2 years ago we did sponsor you. We did give you money. You gave me $600. Okay. So, I said to them, before they totally canceled me out, you don't even know that these guys can do it. They've never done a concert like that before, but you know I have produced a play before, and I'm still producing it. So if you, I'm going to show up. We're going to show up. We're going to give you a show. But, no. Those men had them women, just like Joyce would have the men at the other meeting. And it was all about sex. So they got the money. They thanked me for my time and told me I can come again next year. Guess what never happened? Never happened. And they gave them the money. Guess what never happened? The concert. Never happened. They said they had never done it before. I produce plays, so I can imagine doing a concert. I put concerts in the middle of my plays for intermission. So I know what it takes. I had singers. I had all those things. And they told them, we never did it before. But they look good. They smell good. They have expensive suits. They didn't have any papers. They didn't even bring in a suitcase. Didn't even bring a suitcase. I mean, not a suitcase, a briefcase. Briefcase. Did not bring in a briefcase. But they look good and they smell good. And they got the money to do a concert to promote AIDS education. And it never happened. Guess who's scuffling around, ran around, dragging up money from God knows where to make sure that my play happened and my AIDS, HIV counsels were there and my spiritual gospel singers were there to perform, like always. So you see, I know about that sex thing. And it doesn't matter, you know, man or woman. If a bunch of handsome men go into a room, they can get everything a woman has. Is a very attractive woman going in a room full of men, she can come out with everything they have. All logic and reason goes out of the window. But now I understand why. I understand why. I totally understand it. So if ever I was going into funding, I'm going to tell you, and I came up against either trust me, a bleach blonde or peroxide blonde going for funding and anybody else going for funding, you might as well take your shit up and pack it up and put it away and walk out. It's a wrap. Just the fact that she's blonde, when they walk in the room, they have already put her in bed and they have pleasured themselves to her long before she started to talk. So she's going to get everything because they already came. So I learned don't go there because that's not going to happen. I was shocked. I was like, oh, for the Greenwich Yearbook incident, I was like, it's about the children. And they were like, no, it's basically about fucking the advocate because she looks so good. That's basically what it was for them. And then when I was in the meeting for AIDS in Mount Vernon and them diamond men came in with them Armani suits on them, and I'm going to tell you something. They smell good. They even know to wear the same cologne so you can get it from both sides. They smell so good. Like I said, they didn't have a briefcase. They didn't have no papers. They didn't even have no credentials. Ooh, they didn't have no credentials. They didn't need them. They looked and smelled good. And they walked out of that meeting with money. And I walked out with nothing. Because I just look like me. A producer, playwright, advocate, who's trying to educate the community. Not attractive. Not attractive. Hey, let's do some finger stuff. But now I know. For some reason they said it was me. But it's not. Or times they say race. But I think it's not. I think it has more and more to do with sex. Like Blink called me and said, no, I told him, I said, oh, no, he said, you know, something they was doing with Batman and Robin. He was trying to say, but I had read something where they said that Robin will be a Batman and Robin will be gay. And I put finally. I always thought they were gay. I never thought they had any interaction with women. I know that Bruce Wayne did. Because Adam West was the actor. Bruce Wayne, I think, was the person, and Batman was his cover. Now, I thought Bruce Wayne, because I used to see him, you know, him and Alfred at dinner parties or something like that. And he had women. But when he was Batman, I thought he was gay. Because he had Robin. And I thought Robin was gay. But I never said anything. And it's the only reason why I thought that because men that I knew in my family, my surroundings, did not wear tights. Did not wear tights. Hell, I think the Hulk is gay running around in that Speedo. What are you running around in the Speedo for? Okay? Wonder Woman running around in tights? All tight waist and boobs hanging all over the place. I always thought she was a loose woman. Superwoman. So I thought superwomen are women who are loose women who do sex, like sex workers are superwomen. So if they ever said that superwoman, when she ain't superwoman, her job was walking on the street corner or being a madam in the house, you know, putting out whores, I would say, yeah, that's what I thought. Superheroes. I didn't look for Batman, Superman, or Robin, or none of that to save me from anything. I never did. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. Stupid. How can people run around in tights? The demons I had was racist. And ain't no superhero ever went after these racist people. The villainy was, what do you call it, misogynistic? Men that every time I look open my mouth, they see their dick inside it. How about that? How about going after them? Oh, and this is what I really meant to tell you. When I was young, and I would listen to old people talk about men, like I'm talking now, I would say like, oh my goodness, she's bitter, like y'all probably saying I am now. But it's not bitter, it's an awakening. It's really an awakening. Holy crap. That's what's running the world. Men. And men's whole focus of everything is sex. Their whole motivation for doing anything is sex, sexual dominance, sexual manipulation, sexual control. That's what it is. And we women are here for the ride. And sadly for us, that's why I love us African American women. I love us, I love us, I love us. Because we fighting through. I'm going to say what I got to say. Take your old nasty dick and stick it in my mouth in your mind if you want to. But you won't hear me, and if not, you won't feel me. And that's what they don't like about African American women. No, we ain't throwing on knee pads and dropping to our knees. That's the other ones. You may find yourself dickless. Let's do 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, let's get the other side out. This fast walk is almost over, child. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, yes, yes. This walk is almost over with. Good talking to you. Good talking to you. Good working out with you. Good being with you. Good seeing you. Now, I set this to stay open for 30 minutes, so I wouldn't have to do all that. Yeah, yo, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Like, comment, share. Like, comment, share. Hit the subscribe button, y'all.
So happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Yes. Thank you for the company. Thanks for supporting me.
Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yes, indeed, I'm walking. Thank you for the company.
Whoa, ho, ho.
I'm walking. So
Happy to be walking. Happy to be walking.
thank you for the company.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for the company, y'all. Thank you for the company. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.